Hello everyone, this is Brian Bentley of CoinOpTV bringing you gameplay and commentary for Sword Art Online Hollow Realization on the PlayStation 4. For the unfamiliar, Sword Art Online is a popular anime manga that involves a group of people who decided to join a virtual reality massive multiplayer online role-playing game called Sword Art Online. Now, the conflict, of course, is that they get trapped inside the game in a life-or-death situation where if you die within the game, you die in real life. The main character, who I am there, Kirito, he and a group of individuals fight their way through the game in order to survive and escape. Previous games in the Sword Art Online universe, like Hollow Fragment or Lost Song, used storylines, story beats from the anime and other storylines that, I use the word were well tread, I would say. And for Hollow Realization, I find it amazing that they really went and got the creator, Reki Kawahara, to come forth and create a brand new story for the game itself, which I think is really cool. And one thing I will say is in favor of the game is that they really honed in on the aspects of the game of making it feel like an MMO. So when you're out in the field, you'll run into these kind of things like events. Now, I wanted to kind of show that off, as well as I didn't really realize it at the time that, and those of you who have played an MMO before would know better than to, if you're a level 11, to tackle a level 18. Even as a group of 4, you're probably going to let that one go. Now, I may not have been the smartest individual doing that, and I used a ton of items, as well as I died a few times and had to be brought back to life. So that was maybe I could have made a better decision when I decided to complete this event. Now, a lot of times events you'll walk in, they'll be like, hey, here's an event. And you're like, I'm just going to keep moving on. I got other things to do. As opposed to this time where I decided, hey, I'm going to take on this thing that's, almost double my level. Yeah, sure. Why not? That makes sense. Anyway, one thing you'll notice is on the right-hand side where they have, here are the things that you need to defeat for this event, and you have X amount of time to do it. So, decided I wanted to try to take on the Cave Lizard King, and you'll notice that he does have a secondary target, his tail, which he throws around. And one thing you'll notice also is that on the right-hand side there are the other people in my party. Now, a person that I am connected with, linked up with, is Sinone right now. And you'll notice there's like a little arrow pointing to show that is person. Now, what's that used for is for the Switch. Now, in Sword Art Online, both in the anime and the games, they make a big deal out of Switch. Basically, what happens is you're switching, you have a partner, and, character A, makes an opening, and character B switches and then takes advantage of the opening in order to really do some damage. And used properly, which I feel like they did a much better job in this particular iteration of Sword Art Online, where they really, made the switch work to your advantage. In fact, I use it so much more in this game than I have in previous games Oh, and someone else has died. A lot of people dying here. Thankfully, you can bring people back to life. Of course, if you, as the main character, die, then someone else has to come back and bring you back, which they're not always super fast on doing that, but they will eventually. You'll notice next to Sinone's name and her life and magic bar or skills bar it says caring. Now, in each individual person, there is it's like little bubbles in a larger thought bubble, and a lot of times it'll say like smart or caring or fiery, and whoops, I got moved over. They'll have these different traits, and as the battle goes on, if you want, you can complement the other person. And a lot of times it didn't, in the previous games it meant something, but it kind of like you didn't really have to do it that often. Here I'm actually watching for that to pop up so that I can, because the characters will build different skills based on the, which bubbles I complement more. So for Asuna, I'm really focusing on trying to get smart. And for Sinone, I believe I don't know if I'm working on caring or planner. I think there's a planner one where I'm also trying to maybe build that one up just a little bit. And they will focus on those skills as you continue to complement them on their work. And believe me, there are times where I will accidentally compliment them, and I'll be like in town, be like, "Good work," and they'll be like, "Huh? What?" And you're like, "All right, no, that was my mistake." So they do in the game, it does focus a lot on some of the character relationships to the point where, just about anybody that's in the game you can have a relationship with. And it just it gets a little overwhelming when, I'm trying to I'm just walking around saying hi to like Philip and, Elsa and a whole bunch of other people. And you're like, all right, whatever. Fine. I'll just say hello to everybody. It's perfectly fine. If you don't really want to do that, you don't necessarily have to do that. You can keep, your little band of friends that you have from the game, or in the game that you have from the anime. There's really no big deal. You can, if you just want to only work with, Lifa and Lisbeth and Asuna, then you can just do that. Now, one thing I will say as a huge improvement over, or how I feel a huge improvement over Lost Song and Hollow Fragment is, this is just beautiful. I feel like they've really done a huge great job on just how beautiful the Sword Art Online it is. To the point where some of the, not necessarily these parts, but there are other parts that they bring them forward and you're like, wow, okay, they did a fantastic job. In fact, the cutscenes themselves are in truth, the cutscenes are just, it's just the anime. It's basically one for one almost. So yeah, it's graphically I'm really enjoying it. Other things that are out there, so things like the sound is kind of meh. It's okay. There's really nothing wrong with it. But the kind of people, I feel like if you are a action RPG person, action JRPG person, or a big fan of Sword Art Online, you're probably going to be picking this up just because it does have the characters. They do a really good job on continuing to the feel of them. Like I said, they had the creator involved in the process and in the story, so they've it has that feel. It feels really very Sword Art Online-y. I don't really feel like this is necessarily for a lot of other people. So I don't feel the immediate need to go out and play this game each and every day like I did, say, recently with World of Final Fantasy. Playing that game, I think I die again before anything, because he's really following me there. Before the end of the video. But I do end up finishing this event, so keep an eye out for that. But, yeah, I don't know. I think there's something, the game, I'm not saying the game's not fun, it's just not, it may not be the cup of tea for a lot of people. Oh, I did get a skill chain and I got toasted. So, I do kind of wish, I fully admit I do, and maybe I just haven't opened it up yet, but I wish I could still wear Kirito's usual black garb, but still have like the bonuses from the armor that I'm picking up and creating. Oh, there you go, I got him. So now I've defeated Lizard King. There's just one more cave lizard I have to do. So let's wrap things up. I want to thank you for listening. Please like the video. It's a little thumbs up below the number of views here in YouTube. Leave me comments. Let me know what you like about the video. Are you watching Sword Art Online? Are you playing the game? Let us know your thoughts, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.